What's up, everybody? I have BB Pro Seth Feroce coming at you with an arm training video. Fucking A. So, with my philosophy on training, if you follow me on Instagram at Seth Feroce, you start to get a taste of it. This time around, I go into the gym to have a good time. Before, I used to stress myself out with, I got to make sure I do so many sets of this, and I got to do this. I always had such a specific plan going in, and no matter what, I never deviated from that plan. And it started to feel like a job. So at that point, this time around, with me coming back and me getting back into it, I said, screw it, man. I just go with having a good time. So whenever with all my workouts, they're very instinctive training based. I go with how I feel. If I'm feeling a certain exercise or a certain exercise with a certain angle, and I'm getting a nasty pump from it and I'm feeling it, I'm going to keep rolling with it. So at that point, I go into the gym with an idea of what I want to do, but I make sure that I don't nail myself to it, because then I feel like I just completely get stressed out if I don't feel like, if something's not going right or something goes wrong. So with all of my training, I look at, I need to rush as much blood into the muscle as possible, because the nutrients are in your blood. So if I rush more blood to the muscle, I essentially put more nutrients into my muscle. Very, very simple way of thinking, but it's worked for me so far. It's given me a much rounder, much fuller physique than I've ever had. So my entire day, my nutrition, my supplementation, and my training all revolves around my workouts, my nutrient flow into the muscle. So in this workout, I started out with cable curls. I always start out with something to rush blood into the muscle. I want to put as much blood into the muscle as possible before I actually start my workout. I want to stay warm. I usually wear a long sleeve shirt, a hoodie, and sweatpants to get started with all of my workouts. So in this video, you see me, I started out with cable curls and rope press downs. I'm just going to hit my arms from every single angle possible, biceps and triceps, to fill it up with blood. Am I using heavy weight? Not really. Usually using moderate weight, but I just want to fill it up and I want to get a good sweat rolling. So I start off with hammer curls and V-bar press downs. I'm the superset guy. I do a bicep, then a tricep, take a break. Bicep, tricep, take a break. So I start off with hammer curls, dumbbell hammer curls, and V-bar press downs. With the hammer curls, you'll see me do different variations. I grab the dumbbells directly in the center of the bar. If you end up grabbing up higher or down lower, it's going to hit your biceps at a different angle. So just keep that in mind. So I start off with dumbbell hammer curls, and then I go into V-bar press downs immediately after that. Again, pushing more blood. And on this exercise, I typically work up to getting pretty heavy with everything. So, and as you see me do all these exercises, you'll see me go from different angles. All I'm doing is changing my foot placement, changing my shoulder placement, and my elbow placement. Therefore, I'm just pushing blood into every different angle of my arm. So with hammer curls, you'll see me go two-handed, you'll see me go one-handed. So you'll see me do different variations. And after I get all warmed up, I usually end up taking off take off the pump cover and just let it rip, because there's a mind to muscle connection, and as I'm doing it, I end up getting connected to the muscle once I take my shirt off and see the gains. I'm also really big into posing while I work out. It may look like an egotistical douchebag thing to do. However, I just found it beneficial, not only for the workouts, but also for my head and blood flow into the muscles, because essentially the whole reason I'm working out is to bodybuild. So, this is something that feels good. It should feel good. I don't care if you are if you're just getting started. It feels good to pose and see the progress that you're making. Don't bust my balls too bad when you see me in the gym hitting my awesome old classical poses. So with posing, I'll do it for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then jump right back into my sets. Again, whenever you're watching and you're doing all of your exercises, make sure you're staying mindful of the angles that you're at. I'm not choosing the angle that is most easy for me to do. I'm choosing the angle that is very difficult, and I'm feeling my arms burn, and I'm feeling the blood rush into them. So the whole goal of this is to make it as difficult as possible. Do not hit the angles that make things easy. So with these heavy sets that I'm doing here on the hammer curls, you'll see me stretch out my biceps. I open up my arms, I open up my shoulders, and I let a little bit more blood flow into my biceps so that whenever I'm doing it, I feel more of a burn. After that, I moved into doing a drop set there. You see me doing alternating dumbbell curls. The whole thing behind that, I felt it. That's what I went with. It wasn't in the program, it wasn't in my head, but after I got done doing that set, that's what I felt like doing. Again, hitting these V-bar press downs, you see me change the angles of what I'm doing. Whole goal is just pushing more blood. Pushing more blood, moving the fucking weight. After that, went back into alternating dumbbell curls. With this, that really wasn't in the plan of things to do, but as I was doing the alternating dumbbell curls after my hammer curls, I just felt them. Typically, I'll move into either reverse curls or I'll go into straight bar curls and do 21s, but I felt like the alternating dumbbell curls were just pushing a bunch of blood into my biceps, so I rolled with it. When you're doing these, again, pay attention to your hand placement on the dumbbell. The further back you go, it's going to hit your arms differently than if you put them in the center or up towards the front. This exercise here, overhead tricep extensions, single dumbbell. I don't like doing them sitting because I'm a little short and stubby. I feel more comfortable standing. With this, my elbows aren't the greatest. They're always tender, they're always sore. I always got some kind of tendonitis going on, but I look to do more volume with this. I want to stretch, I want to squeeze, I want to do partials, I want to do negatives. I want to push, again, as much blood in there as possible. With posing during your workout, it's just something I got used to doing. It feels good. Again, it keeps my mind straight. You got to look for, a lot of people think that what I'm doing is looking for how good I look, when in reality, it's actually looking for inconsistencies, or how can I become better? What can I do to get to the next level? Moving into a little bit of heavier weight. This is not crazy heavy weight. With what I'm doing on these, can I do more weight? Absolutely. But I want to make sure that I'm making the connection to the fucking muscle. I want to make sure that whenever I'm curling, I'm feeling the weight. I'm feeling the muscle. Because if you're not doing that, you're just yanking on your dick, man. You're wasting your fucking time. So make sure you feel the muscle. Again, opened up my shoulders and stretched out my biceps, and then went in to do a few more. It's almost like a rest, but whenever you go to do the next set or do the next curl, you end up feeling that there is a whole lot of blood that just rushed in there, and it's actually a little more difficult. Immediately after, jumping right into the over the head extensions. Again, just paying attention to the rep range. You want to make sure that you're comfortable. Set your feet, get a good base. Don't whack yourself in the back of the fucking head, and if you do, just get mad and go harder. Again, you just see me doing partial reps. Partial reps. The whole goal is pushing blood. All right, moving into to preacher curls. This is a variation. I like this machine. It's a great way to isolate. Not all preacher curl machines agree with everyone. I find this one to be pretty beneficial. I like it for singles and for double arms. If you don't have a good preacher machine to use, then go ahead and just do preacher curls with an easy bar or with dumbbells. You'll see me again jumping back and forth from one arm to the next. I'll do a couple reps with this arm, couple reps with that arm. The whole goal here is just how I'm feeling. I'm isolating the one arm and then the other, and again, just pushing blood. This is how I like to train. It's just instinctive. It's worked for me, and it's working so far, so I'm going to continue. This is one thing that you can't teach somebody. You have to feel it. So as you're going through with everything, just give it a try. Go in there and have fun. Don't get stuck on just doing straight sets on the way you saw everyone else do it. Feel the fucking muscle and go with it. After that, I jumped into the two-handed press downs. That's a machine that at the gym, not everybody has that. It's a fucking great machine to have for the reason on how I'm doing it. I go from reverse press downs to regular press downs, back and forth. And as you can see, my arms are starting to really round off at this point, and you can see the amount of blood that's getting rushed into the triceps. So again, you want to push blood, you want to hit from every single angle and just go with it. Whenever you're doing your preacher curls, another thing is body placement. You'll see that how my body is angled from one side to the other. We want to get the weight up, but we want to make sure you're hitting the part of the bicep that you want. I go from one side to the other. Position your body so that you're hitting both arms the exact same way. And remember, whenever you're pulling these, make sure you're getting a good stretch and a good squeeze. You're okay to do partials, you're okay to do negatives. Fucking A, feel the weight, but just make sure that when you're doing it, you feel the muscle. And after that, I go directly right back into cable press downs, the two-handed cable press downs. With this, pay attention that whenever you see, you'll see me lean in, and then you'll see me lean back. I am trying to find the angle that is burning my triceps the most, the part that I feel the muscle working the hardest. I don't look for the easy route. Don't let your body take the easy route. Your body will choose the fucking easy route every single time if you let it. So be mindful, keep that in your head, and push to make sure that you're working your fucking arms as much as possible. All right, back into two-handed cable curls. I am a huge fan of the two-handed cable curls. I like them from just about every angle. Whether you're lying down on the ground, you grab it from a high bar, you grab it from the ground like I'm doing here. Keep constant tension on the muscles. You can do everything from here. You can do full rep range, you can do partials, you can do negatives, you name it, you can do it. Big fan of it. After this, I do one-arm rope press downs. I'm pushing my arm up against my body and using the weight to push it against there, using a little bit of heavier weight at the end of the workout, trying to push blood into the muscle with a little bit heavier weight. Again, you can see me using my body against my arm. Just trying to pull it away from there. This exercise you can do, you can work on doing your one arms with the handlebar if you choose. I like the rope. I end up hitting the outside of the tricep head a little bit better, and usually finish up with, 3 or 4 sets of those just to feel pumped and good to go.